and welcome to 92.2 Maycomb Weekly. I'm Chet, here to bring you the latest news in Maycomb town.
My name's Shirley Ann, and I'm Chet's co-host. First thing that we are going to look into is a mob seeking to lynch Tom Robinson, which was started by an unlikely person.
Last night, a drunk mob were heading their way to the jailhouse where Tom Robinson was being held. Atticus Finch, the lawyer who's defending Tom Robinson, was already at the jail waiting for the men. The mob wanted Mr. Finch to move out of the way, but he refused. When the men started moving in, Scout Finch ran to her father with her brother Jen and her friend Dill close behind. She started talking to Mr. Cunningham about his entailment as his kid, Walter. Scout asked Mr. Cunningham, told Walter, she said, and I quote, "Hey." And that seemed to finally shake him out of it. He squatted down and grabbed her shoulders while telling Scout that he would do that. He then called off the rest of the men, and they all headed off back to their homes.
We got our reporter here at the station, interviewing Scout and Mr. Cunningham the day after the mob.
My name's Doris Marie, and I'm with our first guest this morning, Scout. What prompted you to run up to your father?
I saw something was going down and I thought it would be way too good to miss, so I ran up to Atticus.
And why were you out so late downtown, Scout?
Jem was trying to sneak out, but I caught up before he got anywhere. I told him I was coming with, and he could do nothing to stop me. We brought along Jill, too. We went to see if Atticus was at his office, but it was empty. We saw a light at the jailhouse, and that's where we found Atticus, reading in a chair propped up against the door.
Why'd you start talking to Mr. Cunningham?
He was the only one I recognized, so I thought I'd talk to him about his entailment and such.
Were you scared at all?
Not when I started talking to Mr. Cunningham, but it was kind of weird and a little scary when everyone was staring at me with their jaws half open. Even Atticus looked like that.
Thank you, Scout, for the interview. This has been very helpful.
Of course, miss.
Next up is an interview with Mr. Cunningham, the man who called off the mob. Good day, Mr. Cunningham.
Hello, man.
So, what caused you to call off the mob?
Well, I was mighty drunk at the time, so I wasn't seeing too straight. Scout started talking to me about Walter, and it helped me see Atticus in a different light. He's a father, just like me, and that helped me see clearly and tell the men to head back home.
And what exactly caused this mob?
We just sort of got the idea in our heads. Many were mad about Atticus defending Robinson, and we were all drunk. Soon enough, we were all going together to the jailhouse.
Why are you so mad at Atticus?
I thought it was obvious, ma'am. He's gone to such great lengths just to protect a person of color.
Thank you for your time, Mr. Cunningham. Back to you, Chet.
Breaking news coming from the Finch neighborhood. Atticus Finch's son Jim once again catching a headline. This time coming from the Radley house, where young Jim Finch reportedly lost his pants. Several spectators claim to have seen a near-nude Jen Finch running through the neighborhood late at night in a state of panic. The neighbors...
Sorry to interrupt you, Chet, but we have a reporter on the inside of this case standing by with Jen Finch.
All right, then. Over to you, Doris Marie.
Thank you, Chet and Shirley. I'm here on the scene with Jem Finch after just experiencing utter humiliation. Jem, can you tell us the cause of your unfortunate misconception?
Well, long story short, I was playing a game of strip poker with my friend Dill, and we heard this gunshot. It scared the living daylights out of us and my sister Scout.
A gunshot, you say? Where did this gunshot come from? And who shot it? Oh, we are now being joined by lawyer Atticus Finch, currently handling the Robinson case. Atticus, can you tell us who was that handled and demonstrated a dangerous firearm in our Maycomb community?
The gun was fired by Mr. Radley after seeing a slave man upon his property. It was an overreaction and quite frankly foolish endeavor. It is a shame that people of this community would treat each other with such bias and racism. It is quite disappointing to see our Maycomb brothers and sisters participating in such hateful activities. You lastly have no right to question my son about such matters. Come on, Jim, we're leaving.
As you can see, such dramatic events have taken place here in Maycomb in these last several hours. You will never truly understand what actually happened here. Back to you, Chet.
Thank you for that insight, Doris Marie.
Well, our folks at home, these are no doubt destined to be more memorable times in our town. Between the trial of Tom Robinson and the stripping mishaps, we are bound for an unforgettable season.
We will now resume your one non-stop hour of music on 92.2 Maycomb Weekly.